Well, we're here at the CCA workbench, and as you can tell, with me is my good buddy Dave Farrell. We've been together for a lot of years, Dave.
Yes, sir.
And Kingfish, I know, is one of your all-time favorites, so let's just roll right into it.
He's the Wahoo's, ugly cousin. Really, he's just not quite as tasty as the Wahoo, but he still has his redeeming qualities. He can get fairly good size.
Right.
He can get he's a tough fighting fish. He makes long runs, and his mouth is kind of a rocky place where your hook can find no purchase sometimes.
Right.
He's a tough character, and he's really good to eat. As far as if you cook him that day, if you don't put him in the freezer and all that mess, if you grill him that night, you catch him, he's going to be good. And if you smoke him and make dip out of him, he's excellent. It's an oily, fleshed fish, and those oily fish smoke well.
Right.
And that's why we like to catch them. That's why he's so popular. Both you can catch them offshore trolling, in the same places you're catching dorados and sailfish and whatnot. Or this time of year, those great big smoker kings come inshore really close to the beach, 40, 50 feet of water, sometimes even less. We're following those big schools of menhaden, the pogies that go run up and down the beach.
Right.
And they just makes them really accessible and really fun. Now we're allowed to keep in the Gulf in Monroe County 24-inch fork length.
Right.
Get 3 per harvester. In the Atlantic, there's 24 fork length and 2 per harvester.
All right, so if we're going to bait fish for them, what rig do we want to use to start off with a medium-sized bait?
Well, we're going to use a wire rig.
Blue runner?
A blue runner, a big pinfish, any fish that you sabiki off the bottom where you're fishing. Like if I'm out on 8A out of Cape Canaveral, I'll drop a sabiki to the bottom, catch a big squirrel fish or something. Anything off the bottom, a big grunt.
Ladyfish?
A ladyfish, anything, and put it on a number 4 wire rig up to a number 7 wire rig. Usually a number 4 will catch most of the kingfish that you hook.
Hook this fish in the nose?
Yeah, you hook him in the nose with the live bait hook, and you hook him back near the tail because kingfish like to take off tails.
Is this Eagle Claw 4X?
That is an Eagle Claw, that laser sharp number 4 there. Yeah.
Okay.
Treble. And, you can adjust this to however big your bait is. You can put 2 on there, 3 on there, up to a ladyfish style like this one, where I've got 3 or 4 hooks on there.
Right.
So it'll just spread out so that when that king mackerel, like all mackerels and wahoos, he's a mackerel as well, they come and they take the tail off a bait. They use their speed and those razor sharp teeth to come just smoking in and whacking the tails off, and then they come around to finish it up. And so a lot of times, when you're trolling, you'll get a big hit, wha-pam, and then there's nothing for a second. The worst thing you can do is reel it in real fast. You let that thing stay out there. Sometimes if you can free spool it immediately, if you get on the rod after it makes that big slam and nothing's there, you just free spool that bait back and it'll flutter down and he'll come back. Either him or one of his buddies will come and get the head, and then you'll have a good hookup.
So what about lure fishing for him, Dave?
Well, I'd love to pull, any kind of plug back there, either a lipped plug or a non-lipped plug, something that'll go 4 to 6 knots. You don't have to go real fast when you're fishing for king mackerels. A wahoo seems to like a faster bait, but you'll hear a lot of people say, well, you don't have to go as fast, and you really don't. I catch most of my kingfish on one of those magic swimmers, going slow, between 4 to 6 knots.
Right.
Pretty close to the boat too. You don't have to get them way, way back there like you have to do for tunas.
Do you fish 2, like 1 medium and 1 short?
I'll usually have 2 naked ballyhoos on wire pin rigs.
Right.
On my outriggers, and all my plugs either in short on a downrigger or just in short in the wash.
On a planer, maybe?
On a planer like these.
Right.
Down on a planer, or just by themselves.
Now, I see a lot of guys off of Miami in the sewer hole.
The drone spoon has never stopped working.
And they just sit there and they jig the spoon like this.
Yeah, the same thing the commercial guys do.
Yeah.
If you go running by a commercial guy, he'll either have that drone spoon on or a big bean bucktail jig like this white bucktail jig.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is they'll give it a little shot every once in a while and try to make it dance.
Now, on your spinning reel, I love catching them on spinning reels. What size do you like?
Well, that's a big one. I would probably prefer a 6,000, but that's an 8,000. That'll catch every kingfish swimming, even a giant. I put monofilament. I like to use monofilament, like that Prospect mono.
Yeah.
I'm not a braid troller. I like to troll with mono because it has a little bit more give. And when you gaff those fish, please gaff them in the head. Don't
That's
gaff
right.
them in the middle or the back of the tail.
And right to the cooler.
Yeah. 'cause they
Good
can
job,
hurt you.
Mr.
Because
Dave. What do you think?
Their
seem to go
mouth is
fast.
a rocky place where your hook has no purchase. I like that, Dave. I'm never going to forget that one.